Hello and welcome to Play and Learn English with Creedy. I'm so happy you're here. If you've ever felt that teaching phonics can sometimes feel a little boring, you are definitely not alone. So today we're going to dive into how we can turn those lessons from a quiet, sit-down task into a fun, active playtime where learning really truly sticks. Let's play, learn, and grow together. Oh, does this hit home for anyone else? That feeling when you're trying so hard to teach something, but it's just not clicking? It's a feeling so many of us parents and teachers have had. And you know what? It's the exact problem we're going to talk about solving today.
Because let's be real for a second. Not every child learns best by sitting perfectly still in a chair. This one right here, this is for all our little movers and shakers, the kids who need to touch things and the ones who need to learn with their whole bodies.
So, what's the big secret? What's the answer? Well, it's something called multisensory learning. And trust me, it is a total game changer for making phonics feel like playtime, not study time.
Okay, so what in the world is multisensory learning? It sounds complicated, but it's actually super simple. It just means we're teaching by using more than one sense at the same time. We're talking about using our eyes, our ears, our hands, even our whole bodies. When all those senses get to work together, it's like they're building super highways to the brain, making information so much easier to remember.
I just love this way of thinking about it. Imagine you walk into a dark room and you flip on every single light switch. Suddenly, the whole room is lit up, right? That's what this method does for a child's brain. It doesn't just turn on one little part. It lights up the whole thing, creating these really strong connections that help learning stick, not just for today, but for a long, long time.
All right, enough talk. Let's get into the really fun stuff. How do we actually do this? First up, let's look at some amazing activities that get kids moving their bodies and using that wonderful sense of touch.
These are so easy you could literally try them right now. Have your child trace a letter on the carpet with their finger while they say the sound. Or pour a little sand or salt in a tray for them to write in. And if you're feeling a little adventurous, shaving cream is always a huge hit. It's messy, but oh so memorable. When kids can physically feel the shape of a letter, it just clicks.
Okay, this is one of my absolute favorite active games. It's called Four Corners. All you do is pick 4 sounds, stick one in each corner of the room, and then you call out a sound. Your child gets to run to the right one. To make it trickier, you can call out a word, like sun, and they have to race to the S corner. It's simple, gets the wiggles out, and it really works.
And here's a brilliant way to connect movement directly to sounds. A system called Jolly Phonics gives every sound its own little action. So for T, you move your head side to side like you're watching a tennis match going t, t, t. For M, you get to rub your tummy like you just saw some yummy food and say, mmm. These little actions make the sounds unforgettable.
Okay, ready for the next set of tools in our kit? Let's keep the fun going. Now, we're going to focus on the amazing power of hearing and just playing with all the different sounds and words.
Oh, this is a classic for a reason. It's time to make some silly soup. So you grab a pot and a spoon, and the rule is you can only put in ingredients that start with the same sound. I'm making silly soup, and I'm putting in a sock and a snake and a star. Then you stir it all up. It's such a fun and playful way to practice those beginning sounds. Who doesn't love a good tongue twister? Get creative and make up your own silly ones together. How about purple pandas paint pictures? The sillier you can make them, the more they'll giggle and the more practice they'll get repeating those sounds.
You really can turn almost anything into a game. Even bingo. This is alliteration bingo. You just make some bingo cards with different pictures on them. Then you call out a sound, like buh. If they have a picture of a boat or a ball or a banana, they get to mark it off. First one to get a line shouts bingo. It's a fantastic way to sharpen those listening ears.
And don't forget about these super quick, easy games you can do absolutely anywhere. Let's try one. We can clap out the beats in a word together. Ready? Elephant. See? Or you can tap out the individual sounds on your fingers. K, at. No supplies needed, just you and your voice.
Now, I know all of these games sound really fun, but you might be wondering, does this stuff actually work in real life? Well, let me share a really inspiring story that shows just how big of an impact these little changes can make. This is Emilio. He was in the 5th grade and was really having a hard time decoding words. And as you can probably guess, it was really starting to hurt his confidence. He was starting to avoid reading altogether, which is just heartbreaking. So his teacher, Maria, decided to try something a little different. And here's the key. She didn't throw out her whole lesson plan. She just started small. She brought in some textured boards for him to trace letters on, and they started practicing jumping for the different sounds in a word, just like the games we've been talking about.
And the result? Well, I'll let Maria's words speak for themselves. She said he's reading in front of the class now, and his classmates are cheering him on. Just wow. Isn't that incredible? Those simple, tiny tweaks didn't just help him learn to read, they helped him find his confidence and his voice again.
So if you take away one thing today, let it be this. If you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, please remember, this isn't about adding more work to your already busy day. It's just about making what you're already doing more effective and a whole lot more joyful for every single child. So I'll leave you with this little challenge. Just look at the next reading activity you have planned and ask yourself this one simple question. How can I add just one more sense? Maybe it's tracing a letter in some salt, or maybe it's just adding a little action. Start small, have fun, and watch the learning just come to life. Thank you so much for joining me today, and always remember to play, learn, and grow together.